Hello. Hello, welcome back to Jaylyn Cooking. I'm Jaylyn and I have Tina back with me today. And today we're making pork rind encrusted chicken and lemon pepper zoodles. Or, yeah, that's zoodles as in zucchini noodles. Yay. Alright, let's get started. Go ahead, Tina.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is trim our chicken thighs. We're doing boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I don't like all the fat that's on them, so I'll generally, trim off the fatty portions of it.
If you scrape it like this, you can usually get the fat off a lot easier without having to take most of the meat with it.
Now you can do this with chicken breasts, chicken thighs, and even chicken wings.
I think it would be good with chicken wings.
I think so too.
Oh, even legs too.
Yep. And you can do this with the skin on. As a bariatric patient, I try to do less fried things, more baking things, and less things that are done with breading. So that's why we're doing the pork rinds to encrust it. It's less calories and it's a little bit more healthy for you. Plus you get a lot more protein with the pork rinds as well. I guess while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and set the oven for about 375. We're going to bake these up for about 20-25 minutes. Do a check just to make sure that they're fully cooked before we pull them out. You can also do these in an Instant Pot or in the Ninja Foodie.
Crock pot?
In a crock pot. I personally, in my camper, like to use our Ninja Foodie just for the simple fact that it doesn't heat up the entire camper. So for all of you traveling folks, an Instant Pot or a Ninja Foodie that has the option for air frying is perfect. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grind up our pork rinds. I like this brand. It's got a lot of meat on the pork rinds as well as the fat. I got these at Walmart. It's the Max Pork Cracklins, Golden Cracklins. So we're going to go ahead and use our handy dandy Ninja here. And you can use any kind of a food processor. You can just dump some in there.
You could probably use a blender too.
Yeah. That. Have to do it a couple times. Do you have a scraper I could possibly use? Or even the knife would work. There we go. Perfect.
That smells good.
And I just eyeball it to the amount of chicken, pieces of chicken that you use. I think we've got 10 that we're making, so I'll make a little bit more of these. I'll just do the whole bag. Make it easy. Put that over there. And the neat thing about this is if you want to, you can always grind up your whole bag and put what you're going to use on your plate or in a bowl, and then the rest of it you can put in a baggie and either freeze it or store it if you know that you're going to use it at a later date. And you can grind it up as fine as you'd like or as chunky as you'd like. Okay, that's all done. And then if you'd like to stick some aluminum foil on that pan, then we can stick that over there out of the way. I'll move this out of the way.
That side up.
It should say, so we're using the non-stick one, and yes, so this side's up. The non-stick aluminum foil. I like aluminum foil because less cleanup. Okay, so now at this point, we'll just take, and if you'd like to go ahead and do that, you just take your chicken and you smash it down in there and get it fully breaded. And you can pour it on top and bread it in there. Yep. To your desired breadedness that you'd like. And just keep on going.
It smells good.
It's so yummy. It's got a lot of good protein in there too. The neat thing about this is you don't have to use eggs if you don't want to. It's just the pork rinds and the chicken. Now if you want to add like salt and pepper to it, you can always do that.
Or garlic.
Or garlic. This one, the pork rinds just have a lot of flavor in them, so. Normally I don't make this many, so I wasn't quite sure how many a bag would cover of the pork rinds, so looks like we're probably going to be able to finish all of them. That one's got some good chunkies on it. So at this point we're just going to go ahead and stick this in the oven for, again, 20-25 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer depending on how thick your chickens are, your chicken thighs are, or depending on which type of chicken you're using. Okay, while she's washing her hands, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in the oven. So we went ahead and set the timer for 20 minutes. We're going to check it, you know, right at 20 minutes to see if it's done. If not, we'll put it in for another 5 minutes and then 5 minutes thereafter until it is completed. But while that is cooking, we're going to go ahead and start with our zucchini noodles. I have an electric zucchini spiralizer. You can get them at the grocery store. You can ask your grocery store to spiralize them for you.
Now, do you rinse these out before you cook them, or?
Nope, I washed them before we started cooking them.
So, what other things can you put on this besides garlic and?
So I have actually used these many different ways. I actually use these as spaghetti noodles because I don't do pasta. So I will use Alfredo sauce on them. I will use spaghetti sauce on them. I really like to do there's a cauliflower Alfredo from Ragu, and I will do that with shrimp and make a shrimp spaghetti, which is really good. But then you can also fry these up. Or the other thing that we like to do is use the fat-free Italian dressing, and we'll marinate it in it, and then we'll fry them up, and that's really good too.
Nice.
So, okay. So, oops, I dropped the towel. But there we go with their pot. So, so at this point, I just generally will just toss them inside the pot, and then let them get a little warm and put some butter in it. This one we'd probably put about 2 tablespoons of butter in it. And then I always eyeball the seasoning. We're going to use pink Himalayan salt with black pepper and garlic. I get this at the grocery store. It's McCormick's. And then I also use the Miss Dash lemon pepper seasoning. So I like both of these real well. And then we'll grab the butter and a knife. We're just gonna do, I'm thinking 3 tablespoons of butter. Oh, it's gotten a little soft on us. Right on there. And we might end up using a little bit more butter. We'll just see how it goes as they start to shrink down a little bit. I know it looks like there's a lot here. We did use 4 zucchinis, but they do shrink down quite a bit. I know when my husband and I eat, even with me having had the gastric bypass, I still can eat probably about almost a full piece of chicken, and then these I can eat quite a few of.
Nice.
Yep. So and that's good because it gives me my good veggies. And then if you want, you can go ahead and start putting eyeballing some of the seasonings on in there. Okay.
So basically, season to taste?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everybody's got a little bit different palate on salt. My husband could probably eat a salt lick. I not so much. So I try to season to my taste, and then he can add. So especially when I'm with guests, I always under-season so that they can add whatever salts that they would like.
So how long does this usually take to cook?
It could take 10-15 minutes. So.
It smells good with
Yeah.
the seasoning on it. And you guys know me, I love my garlic, so
Yes.
if I was me, I would add more garlic.
And you can do that. I mean, if you'd like, we can add some in there too. I didn't think
Okay.
of it at this point because generally I just do this, but no, let's do it. I love garlic.
Does your husband like garlic too?
Yep.
Good. Mine does too.
Yep. Garlic's good. And that Mrs. Dash's lemon pepper seasoning is really good. My kids will go through an entire jar of it in a month. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and check our chicken just to make sure that, see if it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out a bit. And
Do a
then
real
just
thick one.
Yeah. Cut it a little bit and check and make sure. Oh yeah, that's done. So our chicken is done. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out. It looks like our zucchini is done as well. So we'll put these on the stove here. Oops. Trying to knock the knife off. Close the stove.
Go ahead and leave that on the oven.
Oh, okay. And we're done.
Okay, that's good. You wanna?
Oh, I was gonna let you dish it up.
Oh, okay.
I'll move out of the way here.
So it's almost like having pasta with it.
Yes. Ooh. Finding the bottom.
All right.
There we go. Delicious.
That looks good. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in again for another episode of Jaylyn Cooking. Thank you, Tina, for doing another episode with me. It was fun.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And if you guys have any suggestions on any kind of food that you'd like me to make, go ahead and add that to the comments. Otherwise, always remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.